Hello, this is Jeremy Zlinger with the Rice Trader, just to give you the weekly summary of the TRT report. Of course, it's the November 5th TRT, and we're just looking at the various key aspects of the market. What would be the first thing I would say? We're going to move right into prices. Usually I wait for this for a bit, but the price action this week is just been kind of dramatic, so let's talk about it. And then talk the reasonings behind it right after. We saw, to start, Vietnam has actually risen from 410 to 415 and 5%. Which is very interesting. Thai is down $6 to $3.94 at a massive discount to Vietnamese rice. The big play of the week, of course, is Pakistan dropping to 355 for 5%, and India dropping to 365. So we saw some extreme reductions in price this week. Some were for sure based upon currency move. Obviously, the Pakistan move was a bit on currency, but that's regardless. It doesn't matter because these are per dollar prices, and per dollar prices are what will be delivered. I mean, obviously you add freight on at your delivered price. And I have to say, $355 pack is a bargain. In fact, $275 India brokens remains an immense bargain for anybody that can use those qualities. And that's really the key. If you look at this, and of course the traders are going to know the market better than we do. Can a market use Thai rice or Pakistan rice? If they can, that's a bargain. Can they use the brokens from India at such a cheap price? If they can, it's a real bargain right now versus the other origins. And the clear difference between Viet and Thai, obviously a lot of this has been Filipino action and what's going on with various crops. But $3.94 Thai versus $4.15 Viet, that's a $21 difference between Vietnam and Thailand. Again, that's so high that obviously the Thai is just screaming for business. It's a very good buy, only held back by what's going on with Pakistan and India. Now, the outlier to this, of course, is the U.S. market. The U.S. market at $5.40 makes all these ones look super cheap. And as we said repeatedly, the U.S. players are 100% focused on politics. They don't care that their quality is better in Asia. They don't care that Latin America should move over to Asian rice. The summary is they don't care. They decided we're going to keep our prices high. We're going to probably induce another big crop next year. We're believing our politicians to give us a rack, which takes away from what should happen in that region. They just don't care. The question is how long before economics steps in and teaches them the lesson. You can't be lower quality. You can't be higher priced. And we've been talking about this for a while, and I think this crop is the test of that. As customers look at this, and as I've said several weeks, they have to be being ridiculous to not use other origins unless they truly count on quality. That's the story of the week, really. So, these price actions are very interesting week to week, but these massive differences are going to shift trade. So I see these as good opportunity prices. Very fascinating. You haven't seen this level of weird spread in Asia very often at all. So a very interesting week to look at the price charts and to see what's going on. If I look at demand, again, part of this is that question. I've said repeatedly that the world is an extreme high supply. This remains the case. We have the highest stocks in rice since 2000. This is going to affect our ability to trade. Demand's been about 1.7% off this year for the 5 majors, but still it's a really good year for demand. But we're still adding stocks worldwide. We still completely play this macro picture out. So in the short run, stuff like the NFA trade or a big trade are going to affect prices, but I still believe we're being weighed upon, like the grain market is. A lot of the key professionals say this is a 4 to 5 year downtrend, and then we'll recover significantly after that. So, let's hope that that's not the case. But let's prepare in case our views in the market are not as logical as we might think. Because the last time we had this supply, prices were $200 a ton. Now, we all say, that's probably not logical today with inflation, what's going on. But it's a key point to look at. Why would rice be this high when it was much lower when it had similar fundamentals? So I would continue to watch a close look at those pieces and watch each week. Yes, there's some currency moves, but these prices are probably continuing to move down aerially outside of big business. What else is going on? I think another key piece to look at is the U.S. elections coming up next week. The U.S. elections are key. Just this morning, related to probably the elections, unemployment has probably been the best place in years. But also, President Trump made an announcement that he's working on a deal with China. Will this happen? Is this just positioning? It's tough to see at such an early date of what's going on. The general belief has been the Chinese-U.S. trade war will continue. But again, if politicians get motivated, that could change very quickly. As the election's probably in the bank, more or less, you're probably going to see the Democrats take over the House, the Senate's retain the Senate. So you'll have a split Washington, D.C., which the U.S. very much likes if you look at history. Usually when there's a president, it likes to flip one of the houses to the opposing party. It's very natural. And then actually, usually it'll flip back during the presidential year. So anyway, these are things to watch. We also have a broken report this week that I would watch very closely. In our ending section, we're looking at the U.S. And their stock report that was just out. Of course, there's FAO, and we have our monthly tie report. Just in the end, I would also note to all of you, I'm headed to the Philippines on Sunday for a couple days, and then I'm headed to Thailand's 100th anniversary next week, which I look forward to seeing our many friends. I think we've covered the market pretty well, and as always, this is a short summary of the world markets. There's much more on the Rice Trader to look at. This is a brief summary of what's going on. And with that, I hope you guys have a nice weekend.